Good afternoon to all. Today we will go through the general concept of the legal provision under the transparency and transformation of society. That is the global challenges, issues, solutions of gender justice in global society. Before starting the discussion, it is proper to quote here the one of the famous quotation of Hippocrates. What Hippocrates said, it is a Upanishad in the Indian cultural history, says that if a person will think the real concept of equality relating to the gender justice and will apply in his own life, मातृवत् पर दारेषु लोष्टवत् पर द्रव्यम आत्मवत् सर्वभूतेषु यह पश्यति स पंडित. Who is the wise man? Who is the intelligent person who have the capacity to think the legal, proper, equal aspect of the law? The person who have the habit to treat every female like a sister and a mother. And if a person have the nature not to take the money of other persons or by illegal means, which is called lostvat padribyam. Padribyam means the money of another person is just like a useless item, a dust, a soil, and a thing which cannot be used. The lostvat padribyam atmavat sarvabhutesu. If a person will think that other persons are equal to me, if another will behave with me in a manner so that I will say that this is not a good behavior. If a person says that the behavior of another person is not a social behavior, is not based on the civilization, that behavior should be avoided by that person also. The means that every person should avoid such type of behavior which is not social, which is not based on the principles of civilization. Atmavat sarvabhutesu. Yah pashyati sa pandita. The wise man is that person who followed and adopted all these principles in his life. The origin of this natural concept of equality of the gender, all kind of human being, including the female, women, and children, is a natural concept. When we entered into the global society for analyzing, for critically assessment of the human society related to the discrimination in between the human being. And one of the half population of the world society, global society, is the female. 50% population is there. Although the women's population is less than 50% according to the available statistics. It is near about 48%. But in a journal parlance, is it called the 50% population is there? The question is whether they are getting the full rights 100% as the male are getting or the men are getting in the society 100% rights. And if we are talking the 100% rights, it includes the every kind of rights, including the education, political rights, employment rights, economic rights, cultural rights, status in the society, dignified right of human being, and other rights which are normally or automatically inherent and intact with the rights of human being. The answer of this question we will not get positive because of the reason number one. There is no equal thinking, as I have quoted the concept and the education of Hitopdesh. Because of the second reason is the selfishness. Because of the third reason is the dominating nature. And because of the another reason is that the person wants to get more rather than the other person. And normally the female or the women are within the corner of every house. Therefore, these factors which are based on the selfishness, dominating nature, and illegal to protect the illegal privacy, social culture, not to go outside the home, not to enter into the employment. Even if there is a problem to get the equal education by the 50% of the population in the society, global society, there are the challenges. These are the social attitudes. And these challenges shows that there is a different kinds of the statistics. If we will see the equal economic status in the global society of the women, it is only 20% economic capacity or economic opportunity is given to the women in the global society, only 20%. 80% economy is captured by the men. Of course, in the present scenario, United States of America have somehow the good position of the female rather than the other country. But in that country also, in USA also, the earning capacity of the female women are less than the 10% in comparison to the men. The meaning is thereby that the 10% earning is less than the men of the women in the USA. And there is the very limited scope in a political system of a particular country. And this percentage is very few. Less than 30% world's women are in a political participation for taking the decision for the society, less than 30%. And in some countries, this is the social aspect after the introduction, social aspect and the situation, condition of the women, 50% population of the global society. There is a violence against those females in every country because of the region, as I have pointed out that, highlighted that region, that the dominating nature of the male, less opportunity to the female. If the female will not got or will not get, normally had not got or will not get the employment opportunity equally, then there will not be the good economic condition. If there will not be the good economic condition, certainly they will not have the participation in the political system of particular country. They have no economy. Rather than the economy have with the male. Therefore, the result of this, the less economy, non-participatory system in the politics of a particular country will result into the violence. The consequences of non-participatory system in the politics and the non-resources of in the economy, it will convert, and the result will be normally of their that the violence against the women. And who will commit this violence? The question. Who is responsible for that? What should be done to remove this violence in the society? If we will see the statistics of global society, in Egypt there are 35% violence against the female, and in USA itself there is a violence against the female, and the Criminal Bureau investigation records show that the 4 million women are suffering the violence which is committing by the male. And this violence is not only in the manner of the physical violence, this includes economic violence. It includes the mental violence. And it includes the, even if it can be said that it includes the educational violence. How it is educational violence? If the female and the girl is not getting the equal opportunity, the education, or including the higher education, technical education, and a education where a female can get the job opportunity, so that she will be able or competent, and she will develop her capacity to earn the economy. This is called also the violence. And in Japan, physical abuse is also there, and data shows that above 50% and less than 60%. Violence is there. No equal opportunity. Australia, Canada, Israel, South Africa have also such type of situation. In that these countries, there is the violation of rights of female who is residing or who is the inhabitant of the male. They are directly and indirectly suffering such type of problem. These are the challenges. These are the issues. And in South Africa, there is also the such type of situation. In East Asia, in some other parts of the Asian countries, including the India, various kinds of the violation of rights of the people. If there will be any kind of comparison in between the male and the female, certainly we are getting the statistics. The females have no equal opportunity practically. It may be in the law books or it may be in the papers. Paper tiger may be there, but practically, because of the social system, because of the social culture, because of the social customs, and because of the attitude of the social human being in particular society, including every country in the global society, there is a violation of the rights of the women, which is called the violation of human rights of people. The human rights of everyone, according to the international law, are equal. Before the establishment of the United Nations, there were the efforts that every woman will come in the same platform for getting opportunity of own survive, own promotion, own protection, own development. But especially in the Charter of the United Nations, the object of this Charter of 1945 is to protect and promote the human rights and human rights education of all, regardless or irrespective of the sex, religion, caste, so on. This is for all. Object and goal of we the people of United Nations. It is written there. And the global society is the member of United Nations. As you know, at present near about 194 member countries are the signatory or accepting the charter. And that charter says that it shall be the legal duty of every member states to make the law for the enforcement of the provisions of United Nations Charter. And categorically it has stated in the object, which is called the preamble, that duty shall be mandatorily followed by the every member country. We will discuss the Indian system later on, but at the point of time or at this juncture, it is also essential to highlight the one of the article of Indian Constitution relating to the enforcement of the international law which includes as a source the Charter of United Nations. That article is 253 of Indian Constitution. 253 of Indian Constitution says that the Indian Parliament shall make the law or shall enact the law to enforce the international law, including the treaties, agreement and convention, covenant, so on. It shall be the duty. 253 of Indian Constitution. In the same way, every country have mandatory duty, constitutional duty to enforce the international laws. And the international laws are the laws for the protection and promotion of human freedoms and rights without any kind of discrimination, including sex. No discrimination will be there in between the two, male and female. Therefore, from very beginning, after the enforcement of the Charter of United Nations, the General Assembly of United Nations has either made the declaration, convention, covenant and the mandate given to the global society as a mandatory provisions of or the principles of the international law in a particular conference. Therefore, the United Nations duty is to frame the guidelines for member countries to protect and maintain the doctrine of equality in the society. And these laws, if you will see, are very interesting, international laws. Among these laws, there is a UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948. And there is a Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, 1966. And Social and Cultural Covenant and Social and Cultural Rights of same year, although these two covenants came into force in the year 1976. But apart from this one, there are other very relevant and useful legal international instruments. And one of the legal, useful and very powerful instrument is the CEDAW. CEDAW is a short name. CEDAW means the Convention of all kind of discrimination against the women, 1979. It is a very powerful legal instruments. Very powerful legal instruments. There are 30 articles, 6 chapters. It is divided into 6 parts. Includes every kind of rights of female internationally. You will go through this instrument, you will download from the net and try to read every article and every clause of a particular article. Includes every kind of rights of female. This is the educational right, right to employment, right to economics, right to fair wages, right to health, right to maternity benefits, and right to care children, and right to get the dignity in society, and right to live with full status, and right to nationality, right against the right of protection against the violence. Every kind of rights, it is a bundle of rights, Any kind of discrimination, if it will be there, the pseudo have power to protect the female. In the same way, 1948 Declaration, United Nations Declaration, Human Rights Declaration, UDHR. The objective is written in the preamble of that UDHR 1948, says that there are 6 and 7 paragraphs, and some paragraphs of the preambles are very, very relevant legally, and says that everyone shall be protected by the national state members at the national level against any kind of discrimination. Any kind of discrimination, mental, physical, economic, social, political, cultural, shall be protected. And that protection shall be available to every female. And the articles of UDHR, Article 2, says that every human being, not a male or female, have the equal rights irrespective of any kind of discrimination. Includes the sex discrimination. There shall not be any kind of discrimination. No torture will be there. If you will see the Article 7. So there are, it is also it have 30 articles. And every article protects to the female. Equal remuneration shall be given to all. As I have pointed out that there are the statistics available that 10% females are getting the less, even if in the developed country. What's the reason? Reason is that if the male worker will do the work as a labor, he will get the more money. If the female will work, will do the same work. The social pattern and the social system says that she will get less. If the construction work is there, so many examples are there, it is not relevant to quote here on online lectures because there is a limited time. It may be cited in the classroom lecture, but there is a discrimination in the earning process or earning capacity of male and female. In every country, including the developed country, statistics are available in website. You can go through it. But the dignified life, all are equal. Article 7, I have quoted the UDHR, and that the right to privacy. And then the special of kind of privacy is required for the female rather than the privacy of male. We are talking about the privacy. Now there is a good debate is going about the right to privacy. Then special privacy requires for the female rather than the male, and what it includes. What kind of privacy? Number one, privacy of female in the personal matters, especially related to the marriage. Article 16 of the same declaration gives the special kind of right to male and female both, right to marry. Right to marry on the basis of own choice. Privacy is there. Right to live in family or not to live in family. This is also the right of everyone. And that privacy of dignified life of female, not to interfere into the domain of the personal individual liberty. Therefore, the matter which says that the international legal instruments which starts from the charter and continuously goes up to the policy of General Assembly of the United Nations continuously. Then before entering this CEDAW, we have some other international instruments which have the legal capacity to protect the liberty, freedom, and human rights of the female in global society. These are the normally of some declaration and conferencing. And these declaration and conferences are the Vienna Conference, 1993, Copenhagen Conference, 1995, Beijing Conference, 1995 again, Habitat Conference, 1996, and the Durham Conference of 2001, United Nations Plan of 2002, 49th session of United Nations of 2005, and continuously up to the 2015, and after that also the conferences are going on for the upliftment of the state